And that recording will be sent out sometime later on this afternoon into this evening. So if you want to go back and reference anything that is covered today, feel free to do so. Also attached to that recording is a questionnaire. We're looking for your feedback as WGU students and alumni, and we value that feedback. So if you could just take the time to fill that out, should take you no more than 2 minutes. So please go ahead and do that, and then certainly reference the recording with any information that you want to go back and re-listen to. The chat is open, so if you do have questions, feel free to post those into the chat. We will have a designated Q&A at the end of the session, so I would say maybe hold off on some of those questions until we get to that designated Q&A, and then you can post those into the chat, or if you would like to come off mute and ask, just raise your hand and I will call on you and you can go ahead and ask those questions. So like I said, we will have a designated Q&A at the end, so hold off until then. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm certainly going to stop talking and I will pass it over to our presenters, Jessica and Christina.
Thank you, RJ. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Jessica Whitaker, and I do have my partner, Christina Berry, on the meeting as well. But I just wanted to introduce myself because I am the Campus Relations Liaison with Sentara Health. And in other words, I like to voice that as being the contact person for new grads interested in joining our team. I do have primary focuses on student programs that involve practical nursing, medical assistance, and then I do handle the wide area of imaging, whereas my partner, she does primarily focus on nursing student programs. But myself, traditionally, I'm more so viewed as the allied health liaison. And I guess a primary objective of my role is just to make sure that I am being the best resource to any type of new grad that is looking for placement opportunities or employment opportunities with Sentara Health. So I did prepare a brief presentation and I am going to jump right in. I do have a slide at the end where we can end the presentation off with questions and answers. So at the end of the presentation, feel free to ask us anything that you may have in mind, and we'll do our best to try to answer and assist. I am going to off camera while I am presenting, and then I will pop back up at the end. So let's rock and roll. All right, give me just a second. Let's see. How can I work this? All right. Everyone can see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So once again, I am going to start with an overview of Sentara Health, and that's just so that everyone that is on the call has a little background about us. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a deep dive into benefits. After we talk about benefits, I am going to start talking about researching and preparing to apply to positions on our career site. And like I said, I will definitely explain when I get to that particular slide. And then at the end, of course, I want to go over how to actually apply with Sentara Health. And then we're going to leave it off with questions and answers. So Sentara Health, who is Sentara Health? Right? So for those who are not too familiar, of course, we are one Sentara. Sentara Health is one of the most progressive and integrated not-for-profit healthcare organizations. And we are mainly located in Virginia. And then we have some locations in the northeastern part of North Carolina. Recently, we have been expanding. We also just acquired AvMed, which is a health plan, and AvMed is predominantly in Florida. So, as you can see, career and growth opportunities are endless with Sentara because we are, as an organization, continuously growing. We do operate more than 500 sites of care, including our 12 hospitals, home health, hospice, medical groups, velocity urgent care centers, imaging services, therapy, outpatient surgery centers, and multiple member health plans. A few of our accolades consist of being nominated as Employer of Choice for over 10 years and counting. We were nominated by Forbes for being the best employer for new grads. And then, of course, US News and World Report has recognized Sentara as having the best hospitals for 20 plus years and counting. So, overall, as you can see, we are continuously growing. We do operate a lot of different locations. We do dibble and dabble in a lot of different avenues. So, point made is that we have a lot of opportunities, and I am going to go right into our next topic, which leads me into our benefits section. So, of course, as you can see, as large of a healthcare organization as we are, we do have some really great benefits that I want to share with you all. Now, the benefits that you see displayed on the screen, these benefits are offered to full-time employees and part-time employees. For part-time, of course, some of the benefits would be prorated depending on the role. But most importantly, a primary benefit that is offered to our employees includes a comprehensive benefit package, which is your medical, dental, and vision plans. There are different options that you can choose from that are better tailored to your
What's that?
personal needs.
Well, I don't think I was using that.
Okay, maybe that was just a little mistake. I'll continue. So, next is our educational assistance program. Once again, this is a benefit offered to our employees, and it's where Sentara does offer $5,250 in tuition assistance per year for you to continue your education. The next benefit is geared to loan repayments. So our student loan repayment benefit, it is where Sentara does pay $400 directly to your loan service provider until you reach a lifetime max of $10,000. So once again, both educational benefits are offered to all employees of Sentara Health if hired full time. Now, outside of those traditional benefits, which I will say the educational benefits are amazing. I attend a bunch of different career fairs, and honestly speaking, I will say Sentara benefits really highlights how they feel about career growth with the company because don't have something such as the $10,000 student loan repayment. So I think it's awesome that we offer that to all of our employees. But then we have an overwhelming amount of voluntary benefits as well. So voluntary benefits do include things such as paid paternity leave, family planning benefits, maybe emergency backup care. We also have an employee assistance program. If you have fur babies, we have pet insurance, and I know I love my fur babies. I have a lot of them. But overall, there are a lot of voluntary benefits as well for you to utilize if you are joining our team. Ta-da! So I guess that was the last benefit. I spoke too soon before the bullet, but joining our team, of course, Sentara has so much to offer. Now, this next slide is where I really want to spend some time going over. As I start to navigate into finding placement opportunities or finding positions in the career path of your interest, I am going to start this slide off by sharing a quick video from one of my colleagues on our TA team, and then I'll go through explaining each of the bullets. Let me know if you can hear the video.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Mercier, one of the recruiters here at Sentara.
Everyone able to hear the video?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Mercier, one of the recruiters here at Sentara. I'm currently recruiting for HR and RNs in all specialties for our regional and system-wide resource pools. Here are some tips. Number one, check the attachments that you upload to your profile. I even got a cute baby shower invitation once. Number two, make sure that your resume is up to date. Inaccurate or conflicting information may delay the process. So for example, if your resume says you're still presently at an employer, but you've had 2 new jobs since, take the time to update that before you apply. Oftentimes, salary is directly related to the experience that you present. Lastly, make sure that you're agreeable to the location and the shift listed on the posting. Because if you are in Norfolk looking for days, but the position is posted in Woodbridge as nights, that's likely not a good fit. We appreciate your interest and hope you'll be joining our team soon.
All right. So I just want to make sure another video isn't going to play afterwards. Okay, great. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about employment opportunities with Sentara Health. As I stated previously, we are a large healthcare organization. And oftentimes when people hear healthcare, they start thinking in terms of clinical roles. However, with us being such a huge organization, we have career opportunities in every aspect that you can think of, whether it's administrative, whether it's nursing, whether it's allied health, or maybe you have an interest in facilities, groundkeeping, I don't know, management. But everything that you can possibly think of, you can possibly find via our career site based on your career path. So, one of the things that I like to highlight is you definitely want to spend time to research our career site for positions meeting your qualifications, and not only your qualifications, but also your preferences. So whether you're looking to do something full-time, remote, if you're looking for something part-time, all of those are considered your preferences. After you determine the area that you want to work in as a career path, then you want to start using the keyword search. I highly recommend the keyword search on our career site because we do have a lot of different roles that we recruit for. And in other words, with us being such a huge employer, the keyword search will help you in terms of narrowing down positions that might meet your qualification and skill set better. So, one thing that I always like to highlight amongst students is that when you're ready to actually start applying for employment with us, simple keywords will work best. Something such as administrative, or maybe RN, or maybe nursing, or maybe new grad. I always preach to students to try typing in the keyword new grad because that is the better way to pull up positions that may be specifically tailored for your student program or major that you're currently taking. But after you narrow down some positions using keyword search, then right before you're ready to submit your actual application, I always like to say proofread. Proofreading in my opinion, is really big when applying for positions, because once you hit the submit button, the actual recruiter that receives the application gets to see exactly what it is that you submit on your application. So you definitely want to double check your entire application for accuracy before submission. Make sure that you are using your most recent resume, and most importantly, that all of your contact information is correct. I am really big on not relying on an application system to accurately transfer the information from your resume into the blank fields. So make sure, if you're using the resume to parse over into your actual application, before you hit the submit button, you just go back over each of the fields and make sure that the information is displaying correctly. All right. So I know that was a lot, but I want to then end off the presentation here. For one, before we start getting into the questions, of course, how to apply. So we have our website, our career site, which is what you see displayed. And then that QR code that is also being displayed, if you were to scan that, it will lead you directly to our careers page. At any point, if you are ready to apply for positions, once again, you do want to do your keyword search. You want to make sure your resume is up to date and that it's also accurately reflecting your education. So make sure that on your resume, you're putting your program or your major, your anticipated completion date or your grad date on the actual resume, and any type of experience you may have gained throughout your major or your student program. Other than that, I also put my email at the bottom because oftentimes I am once again viewed for allied health. So if there is a career path and you're having trouble navigating through our career site, you can definitely use me as a resource and reach out, and I will be more than happy to help you and get you connected to the appropriate teammate on my end so that we can continue the conversation with positions of your interest. So once again, I am Jessica Whitaker. I am the Campus Relations Liaison within our TA team. And if you have any questions for me once this meeting is over, don't hesitate to shoot me a quick email. So, all right, Jay, I am ready. I think both Christina and I, we are ready for any questions. I seen some that popped up in the chat. So if you don't mind, read them off for me or having them raise their hand, whatever is
Yeah.
easier.
So no questions as of yet. So if anybody does have questions, feel free to post those into the chat, or if you do want to raise your hand and come off mute, you could certainly do that. I'll start by asking a quick question, if that's okay. As far as maybe this certain individuals might be new to the healthcare industry. Is there any type of mentorship programs or support channels for individuals entering the field? Maybe it's, getting them paired up with somebody that has been in that specific role for X number of years. Is there anything specific like that that you all have with Sentara?
So when it comes to learning opportunities, maybe outside learning opportunities such as mentorships, externships, internships, I can speak from a perspective of what we handle on a daily. But for other programs, that would be kind of hard. That'll be something I would have to research and get back to you, RJ. I know we have nursing internships. I also work with a bunch of our different leaders in our locations, and they sometimes they're up to having students shadow in their units. Um, Sometimes we do have externship opportunities. Like, for example, I handle new grad medical assistant programs. And so oftentimes our managers in the medical practices take on students to complete externships. But I guess when it comes to other areas within Sentara Health, it'll all depend on a few things. So I guess I can only speak from a perspective of the programs that I deal with, closely, more closely.
Okay. We do have a few questions coming into the chat now. So first one Brett had, can you speak to the IT opportunities at Sentara?
When you're speaking of IT opportunities, I'll just speak from maybe a generalized aspect, just because I'm not an IT recruiter, so I'm not too familiar with the ins and outs of IT. But I will say, if IT positions is something that you're interested in, on our career site, we actually do have positions that are posted currently. I would just recommend filtering or doing a keyword search and putting in IT, and then actually reading the job description to see what qualifications are needed for the actual role. If you do have IT experience and you're like, yes, I want to apply with Sentara Health, feel free to send me an email, and then I can definitely get you connected with a TA specialist from our IT team.
Awesome. Next question that came in from D. Brady is your new graduate program only for entry-level positions?
So, in a sense, yes, the ones that I primarily support. Um, in other words, when it comes to nursing, medical assistance, practical nursing, and then the avenue of imaging, which can be radiography, mammography, and so forth. Um, the qualifications of the processes we have in place for new grads do require you to have under a year of experience to be considered a new grad. So yes. Now, if you have more experience than just that one under a year, then we still have plenty of opportunities where we're looking for candidates that have more longevity in the different career fields. So for example, if you're a nurse and you have maybe 5 years of nursing experience and you do see a position posted, yes, at that time, I would always recommend to just apply to those if you're trying to be considered for a position with us.
Awesome.
But I hope that answered it. Yes, because if you see something that says new grad, I will say, generally speaking, those positions are speaking to those who have under a year of experience.
Next question that came in, does Sentara offer any employee resource groups?
Yes, so we have actually quite a few ERGs, which, of course, if you were to be hired by us, we have this employee portal, is what I like to look at it as. And in our employee portal, you would be able to see all of the different ERGs that we have available and actually sign up for them and be a part of them. We have like Women's in the Workplace, Diversity ERG. I want to say there's a lot of different ones, but the ones that I know off the top of my head is Women's in the Workplace, because I'm actually a member of that one. And then I do know there is a Diversity and Inclusion ERG group, but there's multiple. So yes, just to answer your question.
Awesome. Next question that came in, should we join Sentara Talent Network if we don't see new grad positions that fit us? This particular individual is interested in data analysis and IT as their computer science new grad.
Okay, so I do preach or advocate that you can join the talent network because it will keep you up to date with new information when it comes to hiring needs. However, once again, if I have any new grads interested in placement and you do not see something being advertised technically for new grads, so if it's IT, please feel free to send me an email, and I have the resources to get you connected with the appropriate person so they can review your qualifications with you. Because I will attest, I know when it comes, I'll say this too. I just know when it comes to new grads looking to join our team, even if you don't see something specifically targeted for the program you are completing, it can still be used as a resource to get you connected and make sure that that process is still taking place for you in your interest.
Still waiting for some more questions to come in. I did have another question. As far as the application process, and we can focus on the roles that you're responsible for, Jessica, what does that process look like generally for a position?
Yes, so generally speaking, the application process for the programs that I primarily support will consist of the new grad actually applying to the new grad application I have posted on the career site. Once they actually apply, I reach out to them personally to go through an initial interview. So sometimes I might send a video interview, especially during the busiest times of the year, or sometimes I will send you my calendar so that you can schedule a time for me to give you a phone call. During our time together, I am going to ask you a few questions that is needed to work on placement. I ask things such as your completion date, your qualifications in the program that you're in, and my roles do require certification. So I touch base a little bit on that. After I do that initial interview with my new grad, I then source them to the appropriate TA team member to start the actual process for placement. So what that means is I'm system wide. And in other words, system wide just means that I don't belong to one specific Sentara location. I recruit new grads for the entire system. So based on the preferences given to me during that initial interview, I then work with the recruiter so that they can connect with the new grad regarding the preferences, get them scheduled for their in-person interview with the hiring manager, and then the hiring manager lets the recruiter know the hiring decision if they want to hire the new grad or if they want to, continue candidate searching. But if my new grad is placed, then great. But if they happen not to get placed and it's not for something deemed, negative, then my goal is to continue working with my new grad until we find an opportunity where they're actually hired and placed to start their career transition into the workforce. So in other words, my new grad application process is more so like a placement strategy to help them along the way of getting higher in their new career field.
Awesome. A few more questions did come in.
Okay.
Going back to the theme on externships, would you be able to speak on if Sentara offers any healthcare administration opportunities, such as a health administrative fellowship?
So From what I know currently, we do not have any administrative fellowships, internships, or outside learning opportunities. When it comes to our healthcare administrative roles, we do consider them to be high volume positions. So oftentimes when there is like a position they deem to be high volume, meaning they get a lot of candidates that apply, I tend not to see different learning opportunities for those type of roles. So honestly speaking, I don't think that there are any posted now. Of course, if I find out anything else, I'll be sure to let RJ know for any of those who are looking for something like a fellowship in the administrative space. However, I do say this too. Administrative with Sentara, once again, that is one of the things that I hear often when it comes to various healthcare programs and students interested in joining the team. So, once again, this isn't to single out a particular major. That's why I make myself available for all students and do my best to try to connect you to the person that'll help you best at getting connected with the career path of your interest. So if I have any administrative students on the call and you do see positions that you're interested in and you think that you do qualify for those, my email is definitely open to you all as well so that I can get you connected to the right person.
Awesome. Next question. Do you all offer remote opportunities?
I love it. So yes, we do. Actually, we do. I'm super excited to say with us acquiring AvMed, which is in Florida, I have been seeing more remote opportunities pop up on the career side. One of the things that I would advocate the most about remote is it is high demand for everyone. So if you are interested in remote positions and you see more than one that you would qualify for, just please apply to as many as you see fit. And then once again, please just reach out if you have any questions or need assistance as it pertains to the positions you apply for. But yes, we do. We have them. We have remote, and then we also have hybrid as well for those who are in the area and maybe like to do both, work at home a little bit and work around people. We have both hybrid and remote positions.
And I know our populations would be huge fans of that, considering that all of our students are completely remote attending school. Um, don't have any other questions in the chat. Oh, we do. One just came in. Can you speak on the cultural diversity you see across Sentara?
Yes, so I can speak to it as far as all of those that I am around in the different departments that I am around. I do feel as if Centera is one of those employers where, generally speaking, even down to the managers that are in the location, Centera does allow us to truly be ourselves. And that is meaning no matter what background you come from, ethnicity, personal traits, we are really, really encouraged to be ourselves at all times. I know someone asked about ERG groups, but that is one of the things that I think I was more excited about because that is being talked about amongst all of the departments with Sentara Health. You will see that, especially with some of the diversity and inclusion ERGs, you'll see teammates and colleagues from all over in different roles that join these groups, and we have a great time. But generally speaking, Sentara is an employer that believes in being yourself. I've seen so many questions and so many thought processes of us being a healthcare organization and what's acceptable and maybe what's not acceptable. And a lot of things that people feel afraid to display in the workplace, Sentara does allow you to just be yourself. You do that. So when it comes to just joining a team where you're cared about, where you don't have to feel as if you were just categorized in one broad group, I think that you would find Sentara Health is one of those employers where you get a little bit of everything. We have people from all backgrounds. We have people from all ethnicities. We have people from all different age groups. And I think we all work well together and we all accept each other for who we truly are. A little backstory, because I don't want to drag it out too long. I'm coming from the federal government. I worked at the IRS for several years, and I was a little afraid to come to the healthcare side of things, just because I was in the finance aspect of my career path for just so long. And when I actually joined Sentara Health, I was, to be 100% honest, I was truly, truly amazed by how well everyone gets along, the different expertise that your colleagues bring from all different backgrounds. So once again, I do highly advocate for Sentara Health far as the diversity and them just being an employer where you can be yourself when you come to work, no matter where you're coming from, no matter the background.
No other questions in the chat. Just a reminder, if people do have questions, you can post those into the chat, or if you want to raise your hand and come off mute, you can certainly do that. Also, just a reminder, session is being recorded. So if you want to go back and reference anything, maybe it was something that was covered earlier, or if it's something specific with the questions that are being asked, you can always go back and reference those. And then Jessica has left her email up on the screen, so make sure that you're keeping track of that.
And then
No other
RJ,
questions.
I'll be
Go
sure
for
to
it.
send you a copy of this last page, and
Perfect.
you can use that how you see fit. Please feel free to pass it along to the students who want to connect with me
Yeah.
about the career paths of their interests.
Awesome. So no other questions came in. So what we'll do is we will wrap. Jessica, Christina, thank you so much for jumping on, presenting on these fantastic opportunities that Sentara has. I would encourage people to take a look at the job board. If you have positions that you're interested in, go ahead and apply for those positions. So some great opportunities there. But thank you again, Jessica, for presenting, and then Christina for jumping in as well. And from here, what I will do is everybody have a fantastic rest of their day. And reminder, recording will be sent out later on this afternoon. But thank you again, Jessica and Christina, for jumping in.
You all are welcome. Thank you for having us and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Bye, everyone.